Today we're going to be upgrading our 79 MGB with these really cool classic bucket seats by Corbeau. Seems pretty comfortable. Yeah, my name's Andrew. Welcome to Moss Motors. There's nothing really wrong with the stock seats, but they don't really have any lateral support if you wanted to do any performance driving or track days. They don't really hold you in that well. So let's see how the Corbeau seats fit. So when you buy these seats, they can come a la carte with nothing attached to them. There's just 4 bolt holes in the bottom. Could be handy if you're fabricating your own mounts or just bolting them straight to the floor in your race car. But you can also add on these Corbeau seat tracks so you can slide it forward and back. And you'll need these in order to use our adapter kits. We make these for the MGB and TR6, which is going to be handy for our MGB today. But first, let's install these tracks. We'll have to slide this out of the way to get to the bolt holes. Just lift up on this, and that goes to the inside. And we'll line it up where it makes sense in the front and back, which seems to be that hole. And bolt it in. Making sure the back is going to line up. And slide this forward again so we can get to that one. Snug as a bug. Before we put the second side on, we want to put this handle on. So it slides in between those 2 forks, and then there's a hole that slots into this little barb. So with that in, let's get this other side. Anyway, now we can tighten these all the way down. And now we have some nice working seat tracks. Slide this thing forward and back. Sweet. Okay, next we're going to install the MGB adapter kit. And all you need for this is a magnet on a stick and a big Phillips screwdriver. We're going to put this like so, with the tabs facing out, with a spacer underneath. And then we have to feed this lock nut into the seat rail with the magnet and start the screw from the top. So we'll take the lock nut, make sure the locking side is on the bottom, put it on the magnet and feed it in inside here to where we can start the screw. It's a bit tricky. I'll try to get it turned the right way. Okay, just like that. Next we'll take our adapter, and we want the tabs to face outwards. Put this spacer in between, and then we get one of these screws fed through. Okay, it's started. So before I tighten that, I'm going to do the other end. Excellent. Now we can tighten these. I want to make sure they're consistent from the left side to the right side, so just have it in the same slot. Since there's a bit of movement from forward to back, we'll just want to make sure they're consistent on both sides. So I'm having it where it's kind of all the way forward. And we'll snug these down. Oh yeah. There we go. 1 down, 1 to go. Okay, with these adapters on, we can go ahead and throw this directly into the car. They will add a little bit of height, so let's see in the end how that affects the driving position. Let's get these old seats out and put the new ones in. That was easy. But in all seriousness, these seats are just bolted in from the top with 4 bolts. You might have to slide the seat forward to get to the rear ones, slide it back to get to the front ones. Contort your fingers. Okay, we're ready to pull this out. Wow, look at all the treasures in here. I think we need to do a little vacuuming, but we'll also want to remove these wooden mounting blocks. Okay, let's go ahead and put these in. Might have to slide these rails forward or back to get them to line up with the holes in the car where we can actually thread in the fasteners, but I'll start with the front ones. Let's see how it goes. So what we might have to do is pull up on the bar to slide the rails until they actually line up with the holes in the body. So, let's try to do that here. Hard to see when the carpet moves around. Where am I? Oh yeah, there's the hole. So like I was saying, it's really easy. So we got a lock washer and a flat washer and our new hardware that came with the adapters. I'm gonna leave those front 2 loose for now because there's a decent amount of side-to-side movement in those slotted brackets. So now I'm gonna move it forward, get the back one started, make sure everything's in a good place, and then tighten everything down. Other side. So I'll probably slide it back and forth a few times to figure out where it wants to be and where it has good clearance. And then I'll tighten everything down. But you can see how much wiggle room there is. It's pretty convenient. One of the advantages of these seats, of course, is that they're pretty narrow, so they fit into little cars like these. Of course, you have to be somewhat narrow to fit in them, but you probably wouldn't own this car if you were too big for it. So it all works out. Okay, repeat with the other side. Finding the holes is always the hard part. Boring, 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 boring. Wow, these look really good in here. I think they suit the car well, and it's amazing how much something like this can change the personality. But the real test is, how do they feel? Let me try it out. Well, it's definitely a snug fit. They hold you in really well. There's no more sliding around. I can tell this would be really good on a twisty drive. I will say I feel like I'm sitting up a little bit taller. That could be because of the spacers and adapters. It could also be because the old seats had really collapsed foam. But that being said, I'm probably already too tall for these cars. Maybe we should try another stand-in. I'm here with Anmei. She's 5 feet. I'm 6'4", so just for reference, she's gonna test out these seats for us. Are you excited?
I am.
Okay. Go ahead and try the seat.
Pretty comfy. I like it. It's very comfy.
You heard it here first, folks. But let's go for a drive and see how these really perform. Okay, we've come to a windy road in our area to do a little spirited drive. And I can tell these seats really hug you nicely. I feel a lot more confident going around corners in this car when I'm held firmly in place, so definitely a win. I think if I was in the stock seat right now, I would be sliding all over the place and scared to take these corners, but I feel nice and secure. All right, that was really fun. Taking this out on a twisty mountain road really drives home how nice it is to be held in place by a bucket seat like this. So if you like the style of these seats and you're a spirited driver, I think these Corbeau buckets are a great choice. Find them on mossmotors.com, and I'll see you in the next video.